up, everybody? Buenas noches. Good morning, buenos tardes.
Wepa.
Good morning to you ambitious fans who wake up to catch this live. You got crust in your eyes, you got fumes in your asshole, and guess what? Yanni P and Chrissy D are here 9 a.m. fucking sharp like a couple Germans to give you the news.
We're giving you the news, and we're going to get new cameras. I've been talking to Mikey. We're going to order new cameras, and cuz the operation's going to get a lot better by next week, and it's going to be fucking cute. We're going to start seeing each other in HD. I can't wait.
Do you hear that, Spotify? Do you hear that? Yeah, we're going to make ourselves real nice and sexy for you, babe. We're going to put on fucking high heels. I'm going to trim down my gut. I'm going to pop up my ass, and you can see Venetia's feet. Spotify.
Yeah, in HD, you can see her feet, because make no mistake, we got to step up the quality to sell some Manscaped. Yeah.
We got to do it. We got to do it. Oh, man, what a historic day yesterday. What a world we're living in. I mean, Chrissy's got some good news because Hungary has a new law. I mean, Ridgewood is celebrating today. I mean, because the world will continue, coronavirus or not.
It's going to continue no matter what. Joe Rogan signed a $100 million a year deal, people think, for Spotify. And it's just, Joey is just one of those guys that he's an innovator. I mean, I would say Joe Rogan at this point has probably $1 billion or very close to it, maybe more. He's one of those people that as soon as he went to Hollywood, he just made it. He immediately made it. And the most impressive thing to me about Joe Rogan is whatever that decade, we've spoken about this, whatever that decade's big thing was, he was able to do it. Sitcom, reality show, and the podcast, he conquered them all 3 for 3. And it's just like, bravo.
The thing I love about Joe Rogan, I've always respected Joe Rogan because he's always stood for something. Like he Carlos Mencia used to steal jokes. He was kind of like what Patrice O'Neal on the East Coast was on the West Coast. You were stealing jokes or whatever. You were doing something immoral. He kind of stood for something. He stood. He has principles. And make no mistake, the kid's he was a karate champion in Boston. He left Boston. He always did good. Then he was on news radio. He did well there, MMA, and then that show where you used to eat people's testicles. He did that as well. I mean, he was a pioneer. MMA, he was giving interviews back in the day in the 90s when he was the first commentator for the UFC, saying that MMA would be more popular than boxing, which at the time people thought was ludicrous because boxing, you couldn't get a bigger gate than boxing. And now it ended up being true. I mean, the kid's a trailblazer, and guess what else he is?
He's the squeak of the week.
He's the squeak of the week. I mean, sorry, Debo, no matter who you pick.
Yeah.
I mean, make no mistake, because when you're a fucking squeak like that, you're just going to be more motivated. And he's got a sense of humor. So I hope he doesn't roundhouse kick me in the head. You know what I mean? Because he might only hit me in the leg, though, because he's a squeak, but it'll hurt. But because, I mean, when you're a squeak, you're just motivated.
Yeah, you're motivated. And yeah, he is the squeak of the week. We will get Debo on to just, babble when whatever he wants to say. He could come on with a sippy cup tomorrow if he wants to. But Rogan is the squeak of the week. I don't know who. I mean, if you sign a $100 million deal, you get the squeak of the week award guaranteed.
Guaranteed, you get the squeak of the week award. You can make a deal like that and also make history. This is a historic moment where this is like a podcast. A podcast got Jerry Seinfeld money from a network. This kind of marks. Obviously, this will go down in history if you pull back as a shift, a moment where everyone's attention is going to shift to podcasts. And guess what? Me and Chrissy D, the squeaky clean, no fumeless German kid, and the fumed out Greek kid, we're fucking right here going to make ourselves sexy for you, babe. We'll sell anything. You want me to sell fucking something that removes clits in Zambia? I'll sell it.
I'll sell it. Yeah, Joey, you take $100 million. Yeah, I'll take $500K and be happy wappy.
Because me and Chrissy, we got playpens to pay for.
Yeah, we got playpens. So NASA science. I like what the world's doing now. We got the pandemic going on, and then NASA now, the governments are they're throwing out little tidbits of information. 2 weeks ago, they declassified UFOs. The Pentagon declassified UFOs, and they just threw that out there. And then they were like, "Oh, Corona, murder hornets, Corona." Now they're like, "Corona, everyone's dying." by the way, NASA has detected evidence of a parallel universe where time runs backwards. So they're prepping us now for in maybe 10, 15 years to be like, yeah, aliens are real. They're sprinkling it all in. Now, my question to you is, this parallel universe where time's running backwards, in that universe, are we still gay?
I think what the thing is, we are still gay kids, but in the parallel universe, which runs backwards, we can go back in time and change that. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a Back to the Future situation where maybe in the parallel universe, if we can find a portal to it, I can kind of travel back, like Back to the Future, like fucking, like Thomas G. Jefferson or whatever that kid's actors. What was his name? What was
Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox?
Like Michael J. Fox. I will fucking shake all the way back to your past, and I will put a hand right between your dick and Dr. Phil's and
Father
Bill's mouth.
Yeah, but it's still not gonna.
I got dementia. I'm Yanni. Fuck. I just called him Dr. Phil.
Guys, I'll blow Dr. Phil to get to Father Bill. It doesn't matter. Mike,
So
let me ask you.
We could go back and stop your molestation.
Mike, let me ask you something, because I know that you know about all this stuff. What does a parallel universe with time running backwards mean? Do you have a concept of what, or grasp on, after reading that article, what that even means?
Yeah, it means that Mike will go from fat to skinny.
No, even in that universe, I'm not going to run.
Do you have any idea what it means, Mike, or no?
It just means it's what's going on here, but the other direction. That's what they're saying.
So does that mean that there technically probably could be life in that other universe?
And that's what they're, well, maybe. They're saying it's basically us, but we go the other direction. We're going backwards.
So it's happening. Right. Okay.
That means that my career will get better in the other universe. It'll get better. If I go back about 2010, it'll get better.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, okay. All right. So that's what it means. So thank you, Mike Keith. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but listen, I know that they're gearing up for an interplanetary war, and I'm just ready to fight with the aliens.
Yeah. And Venetia, does your father hear about this news? Because if he could find a portal to that universe, he could go back and make sure that go back to a day where there was still hope that you were only going to date Greek guys.
Yeah, I'll tell him about this.
Tell him about that. Maybe he can go there and stop you before it happened.
Venetia, just to because you haven't been to Greece in a while, should we get Venetia an Uber to have her drive to Astoria or something like that, just so she could see something? Should we pay for that as a little Greek, as a trip for her?
Yeah, you want me and Chrissy to pick you up in a test, and we'll drive you through Astoria, and just so you can feel
we'll get
Greek.
frappes.
We'll get a couple frappes and cigarettes. I mean, that's a breakfast of a Greek.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
After Wepa one day, we'll do that. Sounds great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, or we could go to Texas. I would like Mikey's living in the most fun state in the United States right now. I mean, the comedy clubs are open. People are open. If you say Chinese virus, it's hate speech, but
only in San Antonio.
Not in San Antonio. Oh, only in San Antonio.
Only in San Antonio.
But if you go topless for a Jeep week, the topless Jeep weekend was a thing that they did last weekend. Girls and everybody got topless. They got their titties out. They got in Jeeps and they went to the beach. Mikey, why didn't you go? It takes you too long to turn your mic on.
I think Mikey just pulled a Venetia and he just went and did something else. I love when Venetia comes on because she's so non-committal and she's doing something else. You know what it is, cuz? You know when you do comedy, it's a funny thing when you do comedy. I'll tell the fans a little something about being a stand-up. When you first start dating someone when you're a stand-up, they're very excited. They want to come to your shows. And then about a year in, you become their least favorite comedian because they're so familiar with your jokes, it makes them sick. That's what's happened to Venetia and Mike. To hear mine and your voice just makes them sick. Yeah. I bet you their favorite podcast right now is a line of Glazers. They want something different.
But no, everyone got arrested there at that topless Jeep weekend.
Who did?
People were getting arrested there.
Why? Was it illegal what they were doing?
Yeah.
That guy looks like Matt Healy, the lead singer of the 1975.
He does.
He went topless at Jeep weekend.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a hilarious clip to watch. I mean, people just getting ripped, pulling their tits out. But I love Texas, the great state of Texas. I mean, it's just, it's one of those things where it's like,
Don't like coming here.
what?
Don't like coming here.
Oh. Well, I just want to go to a conservative state where it's like, because it's like what's happening now is like in Georgia, what they're doing, it's the bullshit. It's happening on both sides. States like Georgia and Texas that are opening are, if you go into a doctor and you get a coronavirus test, they'll ask you when your symptoms first started. And if you say 7 days ago, they'll say that you tested positive 7 days ago. So it looks like their present day coronavirus cases aren't going up that much because they'll say, oh, it was a week ago. Where the Democrat states de Blasio will say, we've had 2,000 more deaths because they're coronavirus related. So each state is fudging their numbers in the ways that work for them. And it's causing so much misinformation for the doctors that it's just kind of showing you how like disgusting politics can be and how much they really don't care at all for the general public.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember I tweeted something long ago that I just remembered while you were talking. It's truth is up for grabs. It's whatever sells better right now.
Right.
Truth is what's going to get more clicks. It's truth. Everything has become a commercial for something else.
Right.
So it's like, it's not a commercial. It's not the truth. It's not who's the best, who has the most skill, who's right. What does the evidence say? It's like, what sells the best? What's the best commercial for me? It's a commercial. When Ben Shapiro talks, it's a commercial for Ben Shapiro. When you're watching the NBA, it's a commercial for Nike. It's a commercial to China, to the Chinese market. It's an advertisement. When you're watching History Hyenas, this is an advertisement for Grindr. We're something else. Yeah, everything is a commercial for something else. Truth is up for grabs, and Donald Trump doesn't cause it. He's a symptom of it, like everything else.
Right. Yeah, because you have the governors of each state just trying to get reelected or do what's right. So they'll fudge numbers and fudge statistics. I mean, the state of Montana has got 437 cases, and they've had 437 cases around that for the last month and a half, but their whole economy is closed. So it's just like it's starting not to make sense what's going on, even though the virus is extremely real. Even like these second waves that potentially could be worse if they hit with the flu. Absolutely, that's going to be really, really bad, but it's like more prepared. So you have to start to think about these states like Texas, where it's like, yeah, I'm just going to start going topless on the beach now because it's been too long. So I understand why they snap.
Well, yeah, I think you got so many different people. What this has done is it's kind of peeled back. It's peeled back the veneer, and you see different groups of people are listening to different outlets and pundits saying different things, and there's no uniformity. There's no, some people believe this, some people believe that. Everyone believes something different. Some people believe the virus is real, some not. Some believe it's it's a conspiracy. Some people believe the lockdown's bad. Some people believe what Sweden. There's no uniformity.
Right.
We're not united. It's just exposing how divided we really are. This did not unite us at all.
Right. No, not at all. Not at all. It's done the opposite. And now in the UK,
comedians too. I mean, internet comedians and ones that have television shows that air at Saturday night at 11:30. They're also feuding.
Yeah, there you go. It's what it is. Yeah. I mean, in the UK now, in the United Kingdom, you have no choice. You're a fucking organ donor. How wild is that story? No matter what, if you die right now, they're taking your organs. I mean, that's a little Nazi shit, no?
I don't know. It's kind of like organ donating is a good thing. I think you can opt out of it or whatever, but I think the law is if you don't opt out, it's sort of like one of those recurring payments when you buy an app at the App Store. If you forget to opt out, they'll just give you a recurring charge. So I think you have to actively opt out in order to get out, but automatically they assume you're an organ donor. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. I think being an organ donor is a good thing. I think it's the best thing you can do when your body's dead. I mean, your organs are, worth nothing. David Cross had that famous bit where he's like, he thinks being the most selfish thing is not being an organ donor because you're dead. He's like, you can do whatever you want to my dead body. Piss on it. Fuck it. I don't care. It's not me. But yeah, then there's that fear that if I was you, I would understand the fear. Like if you went to England, someone may kill you because they may get a look at that butt and they say, you know what? I want that. So it's like, he's dead. I need a butt implant. And they'll just fucking take it and it'll be considered an essential organ. And then you have a nice fucking Persian girl walking around with a big butt because she took yours.
Because from the back, you can't tell. I have a Persian ass. The only thing that's a little bit Sandra D about me is my ass, right?
Because you got a bubble butt and there's no other way around it.
It's one bubble. Now, there's big news that we saw today. In coming out of Taiwan, the president of China is saying that one way or a fucking another, they're not letting Taiwan be their own independent state anymore, and they're going to reunify China. So my question to you is, Giannis, is who are you going to side with? Because, of course, if Taiwan has to now coexist and go into China and become part of their communist, Chinese republic, they will reject the Taiwanese ladyboy culture. So what do you think? What are you going to do?
Well, I think you're confusing Thailand with Taiwan, but it's okay.
They both have it. Taiwan has a huge ladyboy culture as well.
Oh, they do?
Thailand is the big one, but Taiwan also has it.
Okay, well, first, that's a great question. That's what you call a Sophie's choice.
Yeah.
But before we do, what you forgot to mention was this is our Work It Girl story of the day. Cover girl, work it girl, do your thing on the runway. I don't know how would you sing that in Chinese?
Well, I found another good worker girl late after the buzzers. Benatia said we got it in, so we'll get to that one next. So that's why I skipped around. I found a really good worker girl, but you're right. This was a worker girl, and I apologize.
No, it's fine. The more worker girls, the better.
Yeah, it's Worker Girl Wednesday.
So that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All I know is that it was a worker girl because because Taiwan's Hong Kong or Taiwan, whatever the fuck's going on over there, their prime minister or president or head lady in charge is a girl. And she said, no, China. She said, China has a policy that says one state, two systems or whatever it is. And she was like, no patriarchy. No, stop it. Get away. We're Taiwan. We're independent. We're keeping our democracy. We're doing things different. We're going to keep aligned with the United States and Britain and NATO and all the people that are going to fucking protect us. And this is always just going to be a powder keg for nuclear war. It could be World War III. So just because China did say they will reunite if they need to do it by force. And it's fucking frightening. And I'm still scared, but work.
Work. Yeah. There you go. There you have it. That's a cherry on top. I mean, it's going to the point now where China is going to forcefully, you might see like actual Chinese troops go into Taiwan and start killing people and make them reunite with China, which is wild in 2020, but it's probably going to happen. Yeah.
And to answer your question, over there, it's in Thailand and I guess other places, ladyboys, I don't know what they're called, but they have another name for it, but it's normal. Nobody thinks it's gay or it's just a normal thing. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of look at ladyboys as like they're kind of like Beyond Burgers. It's like I prefer real meat, but if I'm on a diet or in a binge, I will eat a Beyond Burger and throw cheese and onions on it, and it tastes almost like a burger.
10 out of 10. There you go. Taiwanese ladyboys are Yanni's Beyond Burgers. Clip it. Yeah. Well, I mean, because China's they are a fucking situation, baby. I mean, they want to get Taiwan. They're mad at Taiwan. Now they're telling Australia that they're not giving them any more barley. I mean, what the fuck does Chinese want? What does China want?
Yeah, I mean, China, I mean, what happened is China has slapped tariffs on Australian barley. I mean, they're really punching the economy of Australia because Australia, which is close to China geographically, was demanding investigations into the origin of the coronavirus.
Right.
Chinese government, the CCP, is claiming that these things aren't related, but it makes you go, that they're really they're basically saying, Australia, do you want to fuck with me? You want to fuck with me, guy?
China they're upset about something. Somebody needs to get China back on the spin bike.
I know just the person to do it. 7 a.m. live from the shed.
Yeah, that's what China needs. And then they won't be so mad anymore because they'll be shedding off the pound.
Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is just check out our Patreon for the next advertisement for the next spin class is. We lost Chrissy. Yeah, China just hacked our Zoom call.
Am I back?
Yeah, China just froze our Zoom call.
Yeah, they hacked our Zoom call. Am I? Yeah, try the situation. Am I back?
You're kind of choppy, but you know what? This is a good moment to bring up our next story. Our next story. I'm getting a phone call, but our next story about this comes to you from Singapore, and this is it. It also happened on a Zoom call. What happened, Chrissy?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Singapore sounds like a fun place to be on death row because some guy got sentenced to death by hanging. They went old school over Zoom call. Over Zoom. So that was kind of cool. You bring the old with the new. You got an old school way to die with a new school way to do it. I like it.
Can you imagine being the guy on the other end of that call, being the perp or whatever you want to call it, the convict, waiting for his sentence, and then the Wi-Fi kicks out, and he's like, "Wait, what was that? Am I dying or am I living?" And you're just the guy who's issuing the edict is just frozen like that. You know?
Yeah.
Or
And you're like,
if he does say it, and I was the guy, I'm just going to pretend like I didn't hear it. I'm going to be like, you know what? The Wi-Fi doesn't work. Can we do this next week? And I'll just keep doing that every week. Like my Wi-Fi, I got dial-up. I can't hear the guy.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, because I don't know about the death penalty. Are you for it, against it? What do you think about the death penalty?
Well, there's only 3 first world countries that still have it. Singapore, Japan, and the United States, I think, are the only 3
That have it.
what's considered first world countries that still have it. Be honest, I'm, like I said, I'll admit I lean left. It's just where I lean. I don't vote for anything, but I lean left. But on this issue, I do like the death penalty in certain instances. I just think that if you are the family member of someone who was murdered by someone, it'd be nice to have some resolution. Like the guy's just gone, it's just over.
Right. The only problem I have with it, the death penalty, I understand it's brutal, but the only problem I have with it is then you put killing someone on the conscience of another human being, because then it's like I
didn't know you were a fucking cock.
Yeah, because make no mistake, I'm cucked out today. I'm Chrissy the cuck today, and I don't think you should put the burden of having to kill someone, kill another human being on someone else. I think that we should bring back exile, or you just throw them into space like Guardians of the Galaxy. You could just throw them right into space.
Have you told Patty Flyballs your opinion on the death penalty, that it's no good?
Yeah, no, I'm going to tell
him your compassionate opinion?
I'm going to tell Pat today also with some other news.
He's going to be really happy on both counts.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you may read about somebody walking off a bridge in Ridgewood tomorrow because one of their good friends has some real interesting news to tell him.
It's what it is. But what can you do? Listen, it's what it is. I mean, because this show, first of all, I think we're getting so good at the show now. We don't even need the list anymore. We just I know what the topics are coming. Do you just know them?
I always refer to the list. I mean, I have to look back at the list because I kind of forget. But, Venetia does a great job of organizing before. And then she just drifts off while this happening. I just picture her. She's not even watching the show. She's got another screen up where she's scrolling fucking news. And she might even be on Poshmark looking at old sweaters right now that she's gonna buy. Are you fucking poshy right now looking at shoes?
She might be.
I'm not. I'm here.
Listen.
I'm here for it.
The F&B, well, this is really F&B. I mean, Michigan has just become an F&B state. Their dams failed, and it forced 10,000 to evacuate, and it's leaving the city under 9 feet of water. Now, if that happened to us, if you don't think that if we're in 9 feet of water, I'm not going to grab a hold of Mikey as my vest, and I'm going to put Venetia's friends' hoop earrings as my floaties, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, I mean, you can use Mikey as a rubber ducky. That's it. Just hop on him as a floaty. Yeah,
so hop on him as a floaty, and Venetia's friends' earrings as swimmies, and we're good.
Yeah. Now the governor of Michigan is a woman. Work it, girl.
Work.
She has really had her fucking hands full. Michigan has really become the center of attention in America. That was where the armed protesters went into the Capitol to protest the lockdown. Now you got this fucking city under the dams broke. I mean, it's just wild. And then Flint, Michigan, doesn't have any fucking water. Michigan is slowly becoming the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, their DR. Yeah, they need to start playing baseball because Michigan they're becoming kind of like a northern Florida. They're like becoming that Franks and Beans. But I mean, what can you do? It's getting to the point now where it's like, how united are we anymore? Why don't we just be 50 little independent countries at this point? Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You got guys with machine guns showing up to the government building. You got dams failing, and then you got our actual F&B story of the day that also comes from Michigan. And this is where a Michigan sheriff led a protest, a patriot protest, where not that many people showed up and he was the only one to speak. And it was in honor of a barber who stayed open and defied the lockdown. And I love that Americans are seeing this virus as sort of like it's sort of like a communist virus trying to infringe upon our freedoms in a lot of ways. So what he was quoted as saying when he spoke was that the barber, it happened at Rosa Parks Park in Michigan, and he said that the barber who stayed open was kind of like a little Rosa Parks in a way. So, tomato, tomato.
Yeah, tomato. It's all the same disease. But yeah, I mean, I don't fucking know. But
you do know. How much of a hero is that barber? I mean, how much of a fucking hero? The kid, I mean, how much of a hero is Stefano? I mean, the kid defied to give you a haircut in his garage. The kid could have went to
But he did it anyway. He did it anyway with his golden clippers out of the garage, and his dad was giving me espresso from the basement.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking American hero, and so's this kid. He's just like Rosa Parks, who sat in the front of the bus to defy segregation laws. I mean, this kid fucking cut hair.
He cut hair. Yeah. So, it's fucking what it is. And I think I stand with him. I think at this point now, if you want to open your business and take risks, go ahead. I mean, it's America, if you want to take risks at this point.
Yeah, I think, no matter where you stand, be open, you're not F&B for that. But if you think the comparison is legitimate to call it like Rosa Parks, then you're fucking stupid.
You're fucking stupid. And by the way, great Patreon name last week, Rosa straight to the back Parks. That was a 10 out of 10.
Shout out. That was what you call a like really, really good chicken finger. Simple and deadly delicious.
Homer. Remember, go to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. We have so much good stuff coming there. So much good stuff over there. Extra episodes, all types of shit. And historyyhyenas.com. We got a lot of merch up there. We got new t-shirts coming, Honey Bubbles t-shirts coming. It's fucking wild. It's cute. But yeah, patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys and historyyhyenas.com. And no nets with Shane Gillis, Thursday, tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, and let me just say this about our merch. If you go back to our merch for a second, our merch is top of the line. And if you want to know, they've been selling like hotcakes. Everyone's trying to get a Ladder 14 or Baby Gorgeous shirt. But look at the those are just 5 of our good sellers up there. If you click on get more merch, there's more stuff to get. And we're actually going to be coming out with thongs and face masks and G.I. Joe butt plugs. It's all coming your way.
It's all coming your way. We got it coming up. Bubbas, we got a second Work It Girl. Mikey, did you get that one? Can we play this Work It Girl for Yanni?
Venetia, can you please just put your camera on and do a Work It Girl?
I have to plan in advance. But
This is from Mr. P79. Mr. P79, our good friend Joey Camasta, Mr. P79.
You dancing slow motion, my hands on your heels. That got me going right with rocking with you. I'm not good at not kissing again when you bring the needle in a little closer. I'm not good like you dancing.
There you go.
Hey, should we do a segment with Joey Camasta called $3 Bill News, where he just gives us something that's going on in the gay community or whatever he wants to do?
Why don't we do once a week? But the problem is with Mr. P79, our friend Joey Camasta, there's no way he can wake up because he's still on a coke binge from the night before at this time.
Yeah, that's always a problem.
And he can fucking cook. I mean, do you ever see that kid's Instagram when he starts cooking? I mean, the kid can throw. Yeah, he's a good wife.
I mean, he's an Italian gay kid from New Jersey. I mean, of course the kid's going to be able to slice it thin. And what's funny is that he would want to cook dinner for you and he would want to get disciplined. He would purposefully not slice the garlic thin enough so you would discipline him.
Yeah, that's what he said. He told him that's his fantasy. Is he wants us to fucking beat the shit out of him and tell him that he needs to slice the garlic thin enough. So he sounds kind of like the perfect wife.
Cuz have you noticed when Venetia puts her picture on? Venetia, can you put your picture on again?
I'm here. Hi.
I mean, have you noticed that she looks like an Eastern Hemi?
In this
Does she?
photo.
Oh wow, yeah. I didn't notice. Yeah, because she's smiling. Yeah, because she's high. She was high in the picture. What can you do?
What can you do? I mean, when she's high, she just looks like an Eastern Hemi.
She's a little bit Eastern Hemi.
I'm a happy kid.
Yeah.
All right, Bubbas.
Yeah. I mean, cuz did we do? Oh, we got our little thirst trap of the day. Look at
Yes.
this. Look at this devastating cutie doing his school photo shoot. Cute.
Wow, cutie. Spotted dot hyenas.
I mean, look at fucking that kid is smiling, cuz it looks like a school photo in 3rd grade.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a happy little camper.
Yeah, and if you'll notice his right ear, he's got a chew off. That's from one of his siblings trying to kill him. So they look like cuddly little things, but make no mistake, those things have the highest bite force on the planet and will fucking kill you.
Yeah, it's what it is. They'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, so that's our fucking thirst trap of the day. You can move your monkey to that. And I think that's it. I think did we get everything?
We got everything today, baby. We just got to get out with our moment of Hey Bird.
Oh, we forgot your tank's good news that India and Bangladesh have the strongest storm ever recorded about to hit the Bay of Bengal, which was your tank's good news, right?
There you go. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, the Jews are controlling that.
Yeah, we're totally kidding, by the way.
We're joking around. That's
Yeah,
horrible. But that's crazy that it's that big of a fucking storm.
Yeah. All right, that's it, Bubba. We will tune in for we have what's this one?
This is the moment of Zen, no?
This is our moment of Hey Bert. Remember, tune in
Moment of Hey Bert, sorry.
tomorrow, 3:30 live, 3:30 Eastern live for Shane Gillis, No Nets. And we love you to death and enjoy your moment of Hey Bert. That's Trissy trying to control his DMs. He's trying to keep his DMs closed. Those are all girls trying. Those little matriarchs are trying to get those DMs.
And eventually one's going to make it.
And that's the situation with his phone.
It's what it is.
Wepa in the morning. Wepa in the morning. Wepa in the morning. Wepa in the morning.